Thank you very much. My name is Lionel Paul. I graduated from IIT Madras, did both my bachelor's degree as well as my master's degree in IIT Madras. 66 was the first degree, and then 71 I completed the second one. These were some of the high spots in my career, but I'm a Madras guy. I've been living in Madras all my life, even before that. Just as a matter of interest, I was born in a house in Guindy Engineering College, which was probably just a couple of kilometers from IIT. So I've been close to the Raj Bhavan compound for many, many years, and always had great fun. But to go back, I did my schooling in St. Bede's School in Madras, Santhome, then went on to do my pre-university in Loyola, and then joined IIT. I almost missed out on joining IIT because when I finished my pre-university, not many people had heard of IIT. There was not even a joint entrance exam at that time, so information was rather limited, and I had not made the timing to be able to apply to IIT Madras. But as what happened later on transpired, I fell ill with chicken pox on the first day of my examination for my pre-university, and I had to withdraw. So I didn't do my pre-university exam along with my other classmates. But when I eventually did my PUC, information was readily available about IIT Madras, and for the first time they were going to have the joint entrance exam, which was great fun, because the friendships that I made right from the day one are some of the closest friendships that I've had in all my life. Even today we keep in touch. It's nearly 60 years ago since we joined IIT Madras, but we still keep in touch with a bunch of guys with whom we are all very, very close. So after having completed my bachelor's degree, I worked for 2 different companies in Madras before I gave up and came back to IIT to do my master's. And after I finished my master's, I again joined Tube Investments in Madras, joined the Avadi factory, Tube Products of India, Avadi, and I worked there for about 7 years. I got into my master's program on a Shell scholarship. Shell was awarding a scholarship, one scholarship each of the IITs, and I was fortunate enough to pick that up. What probably helped a lot was the fact that I had, in my undergrad days, I had got the Governor's Medal, which was awarded to me by the Honorable Sir C.V. Raman, which was a fantastic feather in my cap. It was a very humbling thing, and it helped a lot in opening many doors. So there was I, got a Shell scholarship, finished my stint with Tube Products of India in '78, at which time Shell asked me to join their work in Holland, their engineering group in Holland. That's what I did. That was the start of a 27-year relationship with the company, because though I moved from place to place to place and from different jobs, it was all within the same company and even different continents. They moved me around quite a bit. And finally, when I retired, which was in 2005, I retired from Shell in Malaysia, in Bintulu, Sarawak. In fact, I was at that time on loan from Shell to Petronas Oil Company. You probably know the name Petronas from the Grand Prix races that they have their sign quite prominently displayed. So after I retired, I settled in Calgary, Canada. That's where I'm speaking to you from right now. And had a business going for a short while, a consultancy business, but I wanted to also enjoy some leisure time and some time with the grandkids. So that's how I didn't really pursue that too far. And now I am leading a retired life in Canada. That's about a synopsis of what I've been doing. Oh, but my wife and I, both of us enjoyed traveling. So when these opportunities came up from the company, it was something that we looked forward to with a lot of interest. But very often, we were taken to a new country, a new continent, and we were met on arrival, placed in a hotel, etc. But after that, the settling in process, finding a house to stay in, getting the furniture, getting everything going, I had nothing to do with it. It was all, my wife had to do all these chores and get the whole place ready. So, but we both enjoyed it. The kids enjoyed growing up. So just as a matter of interest, we started off in Holland, in The Hague, Den Haag, and then moved on to Canada, where I was working in Edmonton. Then from there we moved to Africa, to Kenya, Mombasa refinery, where I worked as the chief engineer of the refinery there, and then moved back to Holland, to Amsterdam this time for a couple of years, and then moved to Bintulu, Malaysia, which is on the island of Brunei. Oh, sorry, on the island of Borneo, very close to Brunei. And that's where I retired after having spent about 7 years in Bintulu in 2 different companies, both Shell-related companies. So that was we loved it. We loved the travel. We loved the exposure to more than the places, the culture, the people. Everywhere we went, we were welcomed quite with open arms, and we enjoyed the stay and enjoyed the people that we used to meet. It was a lovely experience, and one that I would recommend very strongly for people who are like-minded like us. There was no compulsion for me to stay on in the company. The first day I joined the company, people did realize that I was a Shell scholarship holder, but it was forgotten at the end of the first day. And after that, it was I was just like anybody else in the company, and I enjoyed it, and hopefully they also liked having me around, because they kept me for 27 years. So it was a fantastic experience, very enjoyable. I started in Holland with Shell. Holland is one of the 2 headquarters of Shell. So the people were very friendly right from day one. I mean, we were only about 5 or 6 Indians in the whole of the Shell International Group at that time. But we were welcomed quite well. Our expertise was used to its fullest advantage, and they made us feel comfortable. We did feel comfortable. And a few people, in fact, some sons of some of my classmates have reached out to me in the past, because they are based in the US, but they were being offered jobs in the oil and gas industry, and they wanted to hear what my experiences were. Nowadays, of course, with all the environmental focus, the oil companies are under a tremendous amount of stress to be able to comply with a very, very tight regulations that are being offered to them, that they are being set to oblige to meet. So it's a much tougher job now. The engineers and scientists have to come up with a lot of innovative ideas to be able to manage to reduce the carbon emissions and the footprint, to make it something that is acceptable to the world at large. And as you can see that all the major oil companies, whether it's Shell or any of the US majors, they're all under the same type of pressure. This also, brings to the forefront that jobs are not not for life, not like the time that we went through, where you did a good job and all the expectations were met from you for the job that you were assigned to, meant that you could stay on a little bit longer. But nowadays, even some extremely brilliant people are looking elsewhere, because it's not a given that you can continue to be in this. But it's a great starting point, or a great, even a middle point, to be able to face these challenges and to do so to the best of one's ability. It gets recognized, and even though you may or may not continue in the oil industry, it is a great starting point. It's a great takeoff place to be able to move into engineering fields in other disciplines.